Hello and welcome to this very, very special piece of bonus content. We in the marketing faculty, both digital and social, are proud to present you with a little piece of extra something. This is Caitlin Hogg. I am the digital marketing educator for Shaw Academy, and I'm thrilled to give you guys this really cool presentation on building your buyer persona in 5 really easy steps. Guys, this can also be called a marketing persona or a consumer persona. So when I talk about your buyer persona, we're talking about a personality. So if you think about an imaginary character, that's kind of what we're looking at doing here. We're building a character up so that we can direct our marketing efforts towards that person, okay? So here's the first few steps, guys. Your product will definitely dictate who your customer is. If you haven't got any information to begin with, that's fine. The ideal person you're aiming to provide content to, and you're aiming to sell your product to, okay? So you start off by deciding who your product is for. So create a bit of a sketch around who your product is created for. You know who you created your product for. You must have had someone in mind when you created it. So guys, start off with one persona. I know we talk about buyer personas. Start off with one persona, one ideal person who would be the top customer to buy your product. And we'll expand on it a little bit later. Guys, narrow down the playing field. What I mean when I say that is discount the information that doesn't apply to your customer, okay? So for example, you can't sell climbing gear to people who don't climb. You can't sell insurance or house insurance to people who are not homeowners. Okay, something along those lines. I'm sure that makes sense. Guys, finally, include all of the graphics when you're developing this ideal customer. So what I mean by that is creating a customer with demographics, psychographics, behavioral, and geographic elements in mind. Secondly, guys, do your research, okay? If you want information, the best place to look for this information is your customers and your followers on social media, okay? Ask them what they want. How can we do this? We can produce surveys, we can produce website forms, social listening, which we go into a little bit more on our advanced courses. We can take a look at industry reports and look at industry benchmarks. We can take a good look at our competitors. I strongly suggest that you do that because they'll give you a massively strong understanding of who your customers are and what they want and what they don't want. And guys, you can also do keyword planning as well. Your step 3, create value propositions. What I mean by that is create something of value to give your customers. So I know that this seems like something that we don't do when we're building our personas, but once you've got this idea, it's a great place to start, okay? Once you've got your idea of who your ideal customer is, who that personality is, start creating content, okay? Once you've drummed up that idea of who it is, guys, you will have collected some data by this stage from your social media pages, from your current marketing efforts, and the data that you've developed in step 1, who your ideal customer is, use that data to start writing content. Content is absolutely king these days. So I would highly suggest start writing blog posts or messages on social media or imagery that answers questions that your customer would ask. And guys, think of their problems. Think of your customers' problems and how your product can solve them. And start writing articles. Okay, guys, start creating content as soon as you can. Next up is step 4, analyze the results. Okay, so the content that you've created in step 3, it allows you to track behaviors. Okay, what I mean by that is you can track the interactions that your customers or your followers will have with your content. So you can find out where they came from, whether they came from LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter primarily. That'll give you a good indication as well of where to focus your social media efforts, okay, or whether it's on social media or by pay-per-click adverts or Google adverts. It'll give you a really good idea of what platform to use, okay? Analytics give you massive results. have a look at how long they stayed. So your analytics will tell you this as well. If you've implemented Google Analytics on your website, you can see how long they spent on your articles, whether they spent a long time on longer articles or very short, which means that you shouldn't write the longer articles. It'll give you a great idea of their behaviors online, okay? Guys, also analyze where the pain points are. Okay, so where they dropped off the most, where your customers left your communications first, and try to make those points easier and smoother and more fluid for them to access. Okay, guys, give value. Got to give them value in order to get information. So when you create content of really high quality, as we spoke about in step 3, your blog posts, your social videos, your live content, or free downloads, whatever it is that you're making, you'll be able to coerce your potential customers into giving you information. And in that way, you can build your buyer persona far better, and you'll get a far more concise idea who they are, okay? Step 5, your final step, guys, make a few options, okay? So this is where you create your buyer persona with all of the information you've developed before. What I'll suggest is do not have just one buyer persona. I would create a few based on what your information tells you. So it'll show you certain very strong patterns. I would create personas around those, okay? Guys, not all followers, it's important to note, are created equal. Don't necessarily build your buyer persona around people on social media. Okay, far more trustworthy information comes from your website visitors and your blog visitors. Okay, notice the trends that arrive, that you will see developing. You'll see them straight away in the analytics that you have collected on your customers using your content. Okay, so notice the trends that happen there and develop your personas around those. Be precise. We don't do guesswork with these. We use the information, the data that we have at hand, and we can far better target the people that we would like to purchase. Guys, and as you learn, as you collect this information, change. We continue to develop in this process. Your buyer persona will constantly change, as will your social media efforts. All of your strategies will develop and change as the internet changes and as your customers change, as your product changes as well. So guys, it's a never-ending process. I hope that that was helpful. I hope that you guys got something out of that, and we hope to see you in the next lesson.